Okay. Good evening. Good evening. Um, please confirm if you can hear me. Just give me a thumbs up or your favorite emoji. Anyone works. Okay. I can see Isaac can hear me. Isaac from Ogun State. I can see Olawale from Osun State. Wow. I can see Chuku Emeka from Enugu. I can see Joy from Enugu. I can see Um, I can see Alex from Lagos. Yeah. I can see Samuel from Lagos. Lagos Igondo. Wow. Okay. I can see Shola from Rwanda. I can see. Okay. I can see. Um, who is it? I can see Isaac from South Africa. Okay. Mm. Please just uh, put where you're joining from in the chat box. That's what we are doing. Um, uh, so I can see from Rwanda. I can see. So we have two people from Rwanda now. We have from Lesotho. So sorry, I'm not calling your names. I don't want to murder the names. So I think we are close to 100 on this call. While on the Slack channel we have over 900 people. So I think at least we should have 150 people on this call, because this call can only take 150 people. And for your information, just so I can just pass it across to us, this onboarding is also live on YouTube. So if you are unfortunately, let me see, unable to join this call, like this Google Meet call, onboarding and Google Meet call, you can watch us live on YouTube. It's live on YouTube. So that is that. So I think we should just wait another 5 minutes for others to join, so we can tag everyone along. So it's our mission at Dive Africa to carry everyone along, all Africans, all hands on deck. So let's just wait additional 5 minutes. Thank you so much. We will reconvene at exactly 6:10, 10 minutes after 6. Thank you so much. Okay, welcome back. We can't keep putting. I think this is 6 to 10. 6:10. So 10 minutes after 6. Yeah, that's GMT. That's Nigerian time. So and I think I can see 1:30 on the call now. I think others will join us later, and if they can, they will have to watch the video on YouTube. It's going to be posted on our YouTube channel later this week. So let me just call a few names before we move forward. So I can see Samuel from UK. I can see John from UK. I can see Shade from US, Texas. I can see I don't want to call this name. I can see you from Madagascar. Okay, wow. I can see you from Rwanda. Um, I can see. I can see. So let's just move forward. So I'm going to start now. Then I'm going to call in the the Dive program director in person of Mr. Christopher James. It's on the call with us to tell us why we are here. So I bid you welcome to Dive Africa Techstart 2.5. It is a lot. This is our second cohort. Our first cohort happened March and lasted to July this year. So on behalf of Dive Africa team, I'm excited to have you here to Dive Africa Techstart 2.5. I want to tell you that you made a bold decision to invest in yourself. The greatest asset, the greatest thing you can do, the greatest investment you can do is what to invest in yourself. God invested in you by giving you some sorry by putting you here, and it's your responsibility to what to invest in yourself. So I want to tell you that we are here to guide you every step of the way. Whatever challenges you might be having, I want to tell you that we'll be right there with you, holding you by by your arms to lead you to a right destination, to your desired destination. So at Africa, we believe technology is not just a career path; it is a tool for transforming life and shaping Africa's future. So using that a tool to what to shape Africa's future because the younger generation on Earth now they're Africans. I think over 60% of the population in Africa are under 18 years of age. It is a lot. So we are the future of workforce in the entire world, not only Africa, in the entire world. So that is why it is our mission to onboard everyone on tech because tech is the next oil, is the next oil. And those that will make it in life, that will make it in the next generation, in this generation, and the next must be in tech, must be around tech, must be around tech. So that is why we are here. And I would like to acknowledge our instructors. I can see some of them. I can see Mr. Akim, the front-end instructor. I can see Mr. Okiki, Omikunle, the data analysis instructor. I can see Mrs. the project managers instructor, project management management instructor. I can see um, I can see Mr. Ayomide Michael, the backend instructor. I can see Mr. Peter, the mobile instructor. Yeah. So you are all welcome because we won't be here. This won't be possible without you guys. So thank you so much. Thank you so much. And secondly, I want to extend my greetings, my acknowledgement to the Dive team. It's a lean startup, but they are worthy of recognition. I want to thank Mr. Chris, the program director. I want to thank Mr. Michelle Adeyemi, the operation manager. Um, that is me. So, and I want to thank others. So our Mr. AY, the our software engineer. So thank you so much, because all this will be possible without these people. And last, I want to thank you. I want to thank you for being here, because we might choose to help Africans, but if Africans are not willing to receive our help, there's nothing we can do. So we are thanking you for being here and for being here on time. So thank you so much. Thank you so much, and thank you for hosting us with your journey, with your tech journey. And we hope we are going to lead you to the desired destination, where you can make do good things with your life. So without wasting much of our time, I think it's time to call in Mr. Chris Christopher James for his session to tell us why we are here. I think we should be out of here before 7:30, barring our questions and whatever thing I want to say. So thank you so much. I remain Isheoluwade. I think I didn't introduce myself at first. So my name is Isheoluwade, and I'm the program operations manager. I oversee the entire operations. So thank you, Mr. Chris. Are you here? Can you hear me? Mr. Chris?
Yeah, I can hear you. Good
Okay,
evening.
thank you so much, sir. You have the floor now, sir.
All right, thank you, sir. Good evening. And good evening, everyone. And good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining this call. Um, Thank you for joining this call. Um, I see that we have about 145 persons on the call, all scattered around across Africa and other parts of the world. Again, thank you for joining. So, the 1 minute, let me just put on my camera so that you can get to see my face. Once again, thank you for joining. My name is Christopher Niedi, like he had rightly mentioned. Um, I mean, he had done most of all the accolades, so I don't think I need to do any more of that. So once again, welcome to Dive Africa. So I'll just run us through a few slides. This should take us up to 20 minutes, and then I'll just take questions because I know most of you might already have questions. So at Dive Africa, we believe that we're trying to empower the future workforce of Africa. And we can only do that by different means. Like he mentioned, these are second wide cohorts. Like before prior to this time, we've been doing it in clusters, and then we just decided to take it beyond reach or across reach, and then let's see which will be the second cohort, right? So for this onboarding sessions, we'll just be focusing on a few things: introduction, what Dive Textile is about, talking about the teams, our curriculum, the instructors, your learning tools, how the class is structured, the sessions you'll be having, the teams, which is like the mentors, your assessment, your community, your tribes, our partners, the bootcamp support, and then I'll take your questions. So, I mean, what is Dive? Who are Dive? What does Dive stand for? Right. So I like to say that Dive is just a group of persons that are trying to drive change, right? So this group of persons start from this small number, and then we gradually try to grow the team because we know that this this much impact can be done by a few persons. So we try to grow the team as well, right? So we believe that Africa's greatest resources is its people, right? Data shows that we have over 1 billion persons in Africa, and the number keeps increasing. This is recorded people, in Africa, not everybody is recorded, right? But this is the recorded number, and the number keeps increasing. And because of that number, we're trying to provide structured learning, mentorship, and hands-on experience. So, and with this, we also know that we're able to shape the workforce with skill and competency that can make real impacts in the world. So this is what we are trying to do within the Dive Africa space. And we're trying to develop talent and provide with opportunities, basically. Right. So our vision is to try and equip 50 million young Africans for global relevance in the next 5 years. When we are building those numbers, which is part of them is the reason why you're here. And we're trying to do this by bridging the talent gap by offering accessible, high quality training programs designed to empower young Africans with relevant skills in technology, business, and entrepreneurship. So this part of the Dive, this part, this cluster of Dive Africa is the technological part. So we have business and entrepreneurship part of it. So at Dive Africa, we are not just building talent; we are building a movement of innovation, thinkers, problem solvers, outreach leaders who will drive Africa's transformation on the global stage. Right. So, like I said, this first section where we are all on now is the technological part of Dive Africa. That's what would now lead us to Dive Techstar. We call it Dive Techstar. And basically just to choose, we try to provide training, cohort, and bootcamps just to help empower Africa. But don't forget, we said we're trying to train 50 million Africans in the next 5 years. So what is Dive Techstars? Basically, Dive Techstar is for all Africans. I mean, our last cohort, we had about 7 different countries across Africa and other part of the world. And this cohort, we have about 15 different countries. So it is not just for Africans. So it is majorly for Africans, right? But it has gone beyond Africans. So we have, for example, we have Africans in in other part of the world. So we have Africans in the US, we have Africans in Canada, we have Africans in the UK, we have Africans in Germany, we have Africans in Netherlands, we have Africans in Australia. So Africans wherever they are can join. We also have non-Africans also joining, but our major target is for Africans wherever they are, particularly for Africans in Africa, right? So Africans all over the world can always join in and they can benefit from this sort of investment and impact we're trying to make. Right. So our core focus area for this cohort is product design, product management, project management, data analysis, data science, mobile engineering, backend engineering, frontend engineering, and all. As a last cohort, we had about just 6, and this cohort we have added 2 more official and 2 more unofficial. So we have added 4 more courses. Right. So we now have an AI course and then we have a soft skill course. The 2 reasons why we have this course, these 2 courses, and then I'll talk about it later. Because they have like composite courses, you would need to pass it to qualify to graduate. Now AI, because AI is taking over everything, so we don't just want to teach you the basics or the core of what you're trying to learn. We also want to infuse AI into everything because AI it's currently now being infused into everything. So you're a product designer, you're a front-end engineer, you're a back-end engineer. Somehow you need to use AI to speed up your processes. Right? So that's why we had to include those courses. And those are composite courses, which is why they're not listed here. And then soft skill, we also realize that people sometimes know this thing, but they cannot communicate it, right? People struggle with communication at work, people struggle with emotional intelligence, basically. So that's why we had to include that soft skill course, and it happens to be a composite course. And so, excuse me. So this training is structured into 12 different weeks. So we have 7 weeks of intensive training. This is where you will learn the basics. You would learn all of the basics you need to learn. For front-end guys, you will learn JavaScript, you will learn HTML, CSS, JavaScript, you will learn TypeScript, you will learn Tailwind, all of those stuff. You will learn it in 7 weeks, intensive. And they will now have 5 weeks of hands-on bootcamp. Now, how that works is after you're learning, we'll now pair you in teams, right? So we have 2 persons from front end, 2 persons from back end, 2 persons from design, 2 persons from mobile, 2 persons from project, 2 persons from products, 2 persons from data analysis, 2 persons from data science. Would merge it together and you call a particular team. So you can be team A or team B, right? And then you guys will now be saddled with the responsibility of building a solution in a space. So we can say it could be the solution in finance or in the environment or in government to now come together and build a solution. So that's what we call the 5 weeks bootcamp. So you have 5 weeks to do that, and then you now have the last week to do your defense of whatever you've built in the 5 weeks. Right. So at the end of this training, you would receive a certification and a recommendation letter upon request. Right. So once you're done, we'll give you certificates and then give you a recommendation as well upon request. And then so for internship, we've tried to partner with a few organizations, we've partnered with a few. We're seeing talk with a couple of others to see how we can send everybody that passes through Dive Africa that goes through the entire process So for internship placement, our last cohort, we had a few persons that had internship placement, and we tend to move that number forward. So we're in talks with, we've closed out a few organizations. We have to be in talks with more organizations to see how we can send you. The major reasons for you to have not just have experience during the training and boot camp, also have industry level experience where you start working in real life products. I mean, for our last cohort, if you I think one or two of the teams they moved on with their product idea to becoming a startup, and I think they're still trying to push that forward, right? So that can be also a thing. But however, in case you're in a team where you guys do not plan to move to push it forward to becoming a startup and start pushing it to users, right? You want to also have production level experience where you're working with real life products that are currently in the market or being used by real humans. That's why we're trying to work on that internship. We can send it to organizations, they will vet you, they would hire you, and then can continue building your career from there. However, we've also partnered with GetLinked. So GetLinked is one of the things that they have on GetLinked is the internship pool, because it's HR outsourcing platform. We also have an internship pool, right? So what we do is for the students that couldn't get an internship placement, we you write the getting assessments, you would if you pass or you likely pass, because there's no way you go through your bootcamp and not pass. Obviously, I can attest to that. Unless you weren't serious at all. Right. So but however, once you pass, you get into their talent pool. So from there, HRs can easily reach out to you once they need an intern for their organizations. So that's the idea behind the Get Links talent pool. And so the benefit of the bootcamp, I already mentioned a few of them. You have access to mentors and industry leaders. So from time to time, we have mentors that just drop by, share some experiences with you, share some thought with you, and then you will work on real projects and real world project experience. So what we try to do is that at the end of this training, you'd have two portfolio projects, because these are portfolio is what an employer would typically look at before they hire you. They want to see what you've done before, your past experience. Right now, for some of us that are transiting from one career, maybe you're a backend person, you want to learn front end, you want to learn backend, or you're a backend, you want to learn mobile. And for someone that are transiting, it's easier for us, right? Because we already have a portfolio to speak for it. However, for some person that are just coming to tech for the first time, you will most likely not even you most likely don't even know what portfolio is. Let's talk of having a project on your portfolio. And so what we're trying to do is to make sure that by the time you're done with the bootcamp, you have a project that can speak for you, right? So before you qualify for the bootcamp, I think I skipped mentioning that you will do what we call a capstone project. So after your 5 weeks of intensive training, we would give a project to work on, right? You work on that project alone. So we call that a capstone project. You now defend that. And once you're done with that, you now move into the bootcamp. The bootcamp is where you now work with other people. So that would have allowed you to learn how to work alone in case you're working for a team where you're the only person on the team, or you are or you're working remotely or something of that nature, right? So you know how to work on projects alone, and then you also know how to work on projects with a team. So where you're not the only front end engineer on the team, you're not the only product manager on the team, or the only project manager on the team. So you know how to work collaboratively with other team members. So your capstone project and your bootcamp project becomes your two portfolio project. I mean, we've seen people that have gone ahead to do more than two portfolio projects. So they are working as they are learning, they are working on a project, which is what I usually recommend. And then by the time they are done with the training, they'll not to go ahead to do the capstone project, and then you put cancel. They have like three, some people have up to four. I think two persons had up to four on our last cohort. But yeah, basically, majorly, minimum, we always push for you to have at least two. Right? You can have more than two, but two minimum. And then you have opportunity to talk with your fellow learners and other mentors that might drop by, would issue a certificate upon completion, and then potential job and internship. I already mentioned this, and then you would have grown professionally. So our curriculum and learning structure, right? So our curriculums are designed by instructional designers. We try to make it up to standards, right? So our curriculums are standard. I mean, when you get to curriculum shared to you, you can compare it with a few other premium or paid schools, and then you see that our curriculum are up to standard. So because it's free doesn't mean it's substandard. We make it up to standard, and all of our instructors are also standard, guys. So please give me 1 minute, please. Okay, so sorry about earlier. I hope you can see my screen. Okay, okay, okay. Thank you. So, like I was saying, our curriculum are up to standard, right? So, for data guys, let me just give you like a run through. You get a detailed breakdown on your curriculum. Data guys, you'll be learning Excel. That's the data analysis. You'll be learning Excel. You will learn two visualization tool, but you focus majorly on one, right? So you either learn Tableau and then you either focus on Tableau, but you also know Power BI, or you learn Power BI and you focus on Tableau, right? That will be determined by your instructor. And the reason is because sometimes you might join an organization, if you learn one, might join an organization that is in the other, right? So the idea is that you have an idea on what the other one looks like, but what you'll be using majorly is one. Sorry for the noise on my background. I am in a bit of a noisy place. So yeah, that's what it will look like. You learn SQL and then Python basics. You know, be going in depth to Python, and then for the data analysis and data science, you'll be learning data science with Python, strictly Python. So if you had read start for Python for data science and you do not like to code, you might want to start reconsidering because you'll be learning strictly Python for data science. For the product management, you'll be learning the entire product management life cycle and just basically that you'll be learning the entire product management life cycle and how to manage a couple of things from research to stakeholder management. You will learn user management and all of that. You learn all of that, and then for product design, you will learn user experience from start beginning from your research, competitors analysis, um, problem statement, solution statement, all of those you learn, and then you learn the UI. You also learn user interfaces, which is the UI part of it, how to use your design tools to do your wireframing, to do your high fidelity design. You likely be using Figma, most likely be using Figma here. And then for mobile engineering, you'll be learning Flutter and then that. So we're not doing React, what we're doing is Flutter and then that. For front end, you'll be learning HTML, you'll be learning CSS, JavaScript, and then React. Now, in between, there are things that you also be learning. You also be learning TypeScript, be learning I think you will learn one CSS framework, which most likely will be what's it called now? Um, skip my mind. Yeah, I mean, but you get to see all of that on your curriculum. Just keep my mind down. And then for backend, you'll be learning briefly HTML and CSS briefly, but you'll be focusing more on JavaScript and then Node.js. Otherwise, for Java front backend engineering track. And if a project management, you'll be learning Scrum and the Agile framework and all the in betweens on that, like business charter, um, um, all of everything that you would need, sprint planning, sprint execution, retrospective, and all of that. So you will also learn that as well. So for our learning tools, um, we recommend that you have a laptop with an 8 gig minimum RAM. I mean, you could have more, particularly like, for example, the mobile engineering track, you need a very good laptop to run some of those stuffs. But at a minimum of an 8 gig RAM laptop is what we recommend. You have access to internet, and then you have a good power source. Now, um, one thing I like to say is you do not necessarily need to have a laptop. Right? For some of us that may not have a laptop, maybe you're a student or whatnot, right? You don't necessarily need to have a laptop, even though we strongly recommend that you have a laptop. We understand that sometimes you may be pressed for finance and then you not have the laptop, but we say that you should have access to a laptop. So you could have a friend that has a laptop somewhere that you could always borrow for like a 2 hours per day or 4 hours in 2 days, or you have a colleague that you can borrow a laptop. I mean, you could either go to their place, maybe from work or from school, from classes, stay with them for the next 2 hours, practice, and then go back home, or you go get the laptop once you're back. take it home, practice, and then return. However works for you, just have access to a laptop. And then we recommend that you're able to put in an 8 hours commitment per week minimum, right? To do this, it means that you need to do an approximately 2 hours daily. And so if you're doing approximately 2 hours daily for the next 12 weeks, I can guarantee you that you'd have a good head start for your next career that you're trying to pursue, right? And then the other track specific will be communicated to you by your track instructor during when you're having your individual track onboarding. So you get to meet your instructor, they'll get to guide you to let you know some of the things that you'll be expecting and then guide you from there going forward. So our class schedule sessions and assessments. So we have so you take most of the courses from an element. So we run an element system, and the element is invite only. So you can only access it if you're invited. And so at the at the end of this call or max tomorrow, you guys will get an invite to your LMS which that would ask you to change set your password and then log in. Upon logging, you get to see all of your learning resources. However, we have live classes. We call it an office hour every week, once every week, with your instructor. So that those live classes will run you through what you've learned in the week from your LMS and then take questions from your instructor. So if there's anything that wasn't clear, the instructor will be there to guide you and then you take an assessment after that. After that, that will qualify you for the next week um, learning. And then we have mentorship session that happens once every week. So I think I skipped something. So remember I had mentioned that you would have live classes. Someone is raising up there. And you want to ask a question? Okay. Adeboye, if that's a mistake, you can reduce your hand or let's say you have a question to ask. If you have a question, I would recommend that you keep it to the end of the session before you ask so that we can take all the questions together. Yeah. Thank you. So so I'd mentioned that we have two composite courses, soft skills and AI. For the AI courses, we're having live sessions once a while, I think once every week. So that will not collide with your individual track classes. So if your classes are so it will fix on the day that there will be no classes that will be happening on that same time, day and time, right? So that everybody because it's very general session, so everybody can join in and then ask questions. So as you're learning AI and large language models, you're also you could also have questions to ask as well as relates to your own learning. So we have that. And then you have a mentorship session. And this mentorship session happens once every week. We have for each track, we have mentors that will just drop by, share some knowledge and some experience with you. That happens once every week as well. And then we have career sessions. So the career sessions, because we also realize that after this session you will be interviewed by HR professionals, right? And so what we do is we try to bring them from time to time, fortnightly, which is like once every 2 weeks. So they come, they drop by, they will guide you on what you need to know ahead of your interview session. So what to start looking out for as we start applying for jobs. So they will get to have them come around and then they get to guide us on a few things. And then so our graduation criteria is you must have done 75% minimum class attendance. Right, so for each of our live sessions, you'd have done at minimum 75% class attendance to able to graduate, and then you must have had 75% assignment submission as well. And then your final evaluation and capstone project will also be a requirement for your graduation as well. So because we want to be sure that everybody that graduates and then that we certified is truly cooked and baked for the market. If you know what I mean. And so that's why it looks like it is stringent, but it's strict. But yeah, that's the whole idea. So that we know that you're not just coming and taking it for fun because a lot of resources has been put in, a lot of manpower effort, a lot has gone into this training, right? So you might be free, but it does not it's actually not free. It costs a whole lot of resources. But so we want to be sure that if we are putting in that much resources, you're also showing up, keeping your own part of the deal. Right? Yeah. So basically, and then community, right? So for our community, we use Google Meet for our live classes, and then in some cases YouTube Live. I think the one I didn't add here also be using Mega, right? So sometimes that will happen on Mega. You'll be shared the link, and then you get an instruction on how to navigate it. But you'll be using Mega, Google Meet, and then YouTube Live for our live classes. And then for our community too, we use Slack for communications, and we use Slack, WhatsApp channel, and then email. Right, the Slack is where you can speak with your instructors, speak with your fellow learners, get to interact. And then for your the WhatsApp channel is where you will have more information, right? So in case an email was sent or a communication was sent on Slack that you may have missed. Okay, so sorry about that. That you may have missed, so it will also be sent on our WhatsApp channel. So if you're not on our WhatsApp channel, check your mail. The link was sent to you. However, you can go on WhatsApp and just search for Dive Africa and be able to join, because it will be shared there as well. And you also get emails from time to time from us. I didn't mention all of our live classes are recorded, so you can always get the recording from YouTube. So if you, for any reason at all, maybe you were having issues with your network, you were having, you couldn't join, or you joined late, or you joined earlier and then you were kicked off, or something, or anything could happen, right? You can always go back to YouTube and you watch the entire session. They are always recorded and posted on YouTube at least 24 hours after. And then there's what we call tribes, right? So tribes are basically co-learning groups, right? So we understand that sometimes people can struggle to want to relate with their instructor or maybe their community manager or something, right? So we try to we'll pair you, we'll try to pair you in groups where you can get to relate with yourself, talk to yourself. So if something is being taught and you do not understand, it's likely somebody within your circle that understands better that can as well explain to you, right? So that's what we try to do. So if, for example, I'm being taught, maybe say we are learning something, we're learning um maybe a GitHub operation, and I did not understand. I could always reach out to somebody I knew that followed the class or understood it, and then they can always explain to me better. Right. So that's the whole idea. So you're paired in groups, in small teams, small groups, and you can learn together. So sometimes at some point I might get bored, I might get tired, or it might start getting a little uninteresting. So that's so you can have people that will cheer you up, that will follow you, that will encourage you, accountability partner, majorly, what however you want to call it. But yeah, to will pay you see yourself in you see your tribe in your in on your LMS, and then on Slack, right? So you guys can now decide to want to move it to maybe WhatsApp or Telegram, whatever works for you. But however, we really recommend that there's always consent, because once you leave Slack and your LMS, it becomes too personal, right? So we ask that you make sure that everybody has consent before you move out of Slack into maybe WhatsApp or Telegram, so that you're not just boarding into, you're not just adding some of the random group or something. And then we ask that everybody respects, so that our code here is you respect your fellow participants and trainers. Now, for some of you that are already in tech, so maybe you're already in a front end, you're trying to upskill, you're already in product, you're trying to upskill, or you're already in engineering or design, you're already trying to upskill. Some of the things that you'll be learning aren't new anymore, right? So some of them you already know them, right? So we ask that you respect people that are just coming in for the first time, or people that are trying to switch or transition, because or you may not already be in the field, you may just be a fast learner, while we have some people that are slow learners. We ask that you respect them, respect their process, respect their journey. So you would not be murmuring when someone is asking a question that looks irrelevant to you, but to them that are struggling to understand what it means. So have patience and then respect them. And in collaboration and supportiveness, I already mentioned that on tribes. However, some people might not be in your tribe, or an entire tribe may not even understand a particular concept, but you understand that concept, and you're not in that tribe. We ask that you could schedule a call, have a conversation with them, support and collaborate with your fellow learners. That's one way to learn faster and better. And they'll say the more you teach, the more you know. And if you want to run fast, you run alone. If you want to run far, you run with people. That's collaboration and supportiveness. I'm just trying to say that. And then we do not accept any harassment or inappropriate behavior here, right? If you harass anybody, you can be taken off automatically, or you're behaving weirdly or very funny, you can be taken off automatically as well. And then you must commit to your learning. Yeah, so study tribe. I already mentioned that you be paired in teams. You get it on your element and then on Slack as well. And then our partners, so we have, like I already mentioned earlier, we're trying to partner with the few organizations to see how we can make the whole process seamless and better. Right. So we have partnered with a few organizations for we partnered with GetLinks, that's one of our major partner for their talent pool, majorly, and a few other things that like CV review that they might be doing for us, and even portfolio hosting they might be doing for us as well. Right. Talent pool, CV review, GetLink will do that for us. We partner with a few organizations that we can send you to. We're gonna have industry level experience after the training. And we're seeing talk with a few others as well. I think I already mentioned that. And then our bootcamp, right? I already mentioned what the bootcamp would look like. It's hands-on experience, hands-on training. You be paired in teams, and then you give you the duration to build a particular solution for a specific industry experience, industry problem, and then you come and defend that. And then usually there's a price at the end of the entire thing. I just want to mention that. Right? One of our partners sometimes wants to give a prize to the best team and all of that, and then you guys could just be lucky. And then, so what next after this? What next? What next? So what to do? So first of all, you want to make sure that your internet is sorted for the next 3 months. I will be running together. Your laptop is ready. You have good power source and all. So yeah, I'm hard to prepare for the next session. You need to start preparing for the next session. The communication will be sent to you on when your individual track onboarding will be happening. So you can start preparing ahead of time, right, for that individual track onboarding. And then I will also say that if you have not followed our social media, you should do that now. Go to YouTube, follow the YouTube page, because when videos and content are being dropped, you want to also be able to see, because except for your class resources, we'll start pushing out some other content that might benefit you in your career, in your journey, right? So you want to subscribe to our YouTube channel and then put on the notification bell so you get notified once content is being dropped. Follow all of our social media page on LinkedIn. Go and follow our LinkedIn page on X, formerly Twitter, on Instagram as well. And then our channel of communication, I already mentioned that Slack, email, and WhatsApp channel majorly, right? And then resources and links to review before the first session will be shared with you. If there are any, you would get it on Slack most likely. Yes, so I'll take a few FAQ first, and then I would take some other questions. So if you have questions, you can start putting on the chat box. I'll just read a few, and then I'll take some live questions as well. Um, yeah. So FAQ, would the recording be available? I think I already mentioned that these are common questions that we get to hear from time to time. Every recording, including this onboarding, is recorded. Every class is being recorded. Live sessions are being recorded. Mentorship sessions are being recorded. Career sessions are being recorded. Every meeting is being recorded and then to be uploaded on our YouTube channel. So you can always go and rewatch it there. And then, what if I miss a class? We do not recommend you miss a class, right? But however, when it's not that different things could happen. You could be hospitalized, you could be held up at work, you could be in traffic and your devices are dead. You could join and then network is fluctuating. Or anything could happen. We understand that sometimes things are beyond your control, right? So we try to record every class and make sure that you can always watch it on YouTube. So every meetings are recorded and you can always go to YouTube and watch it. However, we usually say that if you know that you won't be able to join a class, reach out to your course rep, your community manager, to your instructor ahead of time. Not that you be telling them 30 minutes or 20 minutes or 5 minutes of the call that you won't be able to join. Like if I know that okay, I'm at work, what I'm currently doing, I will not be done before 6 and that's for 6 o'clock, or maybe I might most likely be in traffic by 6, or my device is already low. Send a simple message. Oh, hello sir, good evening. Please, I won't be able to join class today. I'll watch you, ahead of time, an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours before the class starts. So they're able to note that okay, you took permission. So that also counts for your class attendance. We don't say that you should do this all the time, but yeah, you should notify people on time so that they can plan for that as well. And then what if I miss any assignment for submission? Your assessment or assignment needs to be submitted at the due date. But at our last cohort, we had some people that miss assignments from time to time. Some of the instructors were begging and pleading. I don't think it will happen like that again, because if you miss assessment, automatically you will be able to qualify for the next week learning resources, because these things are now automated. So there's nothing like, please give them some time. So if you're giving an assessment or an assignment, try to submit it on time to help you. How can I get extra help if I'm stuck? So we already mentioned that you have tribes and your fellow learners that you can always reach out to. You can reach out to your instructor as well, but we do not recommend that you bombard it with some seemingly less important questions, unless it's something you've tried, you've asked within your fellow colleagues. Nobody can help you. You can now reach out to your instructor, so they'll not try and maybe give you a time or a schedule and then to help you out. Not that you'll be bombarding them with questions all the time, and then if it is non track related questions or help that you need, then always send a mail to admin@divehq.org, and then you'll get help from there. Admin@divehq.org. Yeah, so that's the admin email. You can always get help from there as well. So how do I support this movement? Yes, so like I mentioned, it's free. We're not charging for anything. So we will say you will learn, and then to get certificate or to join the bootcamp, not pay a token. No. Some people that that were part of our last call could testify from today that you started this onboarding till when we issue a certificate, the entire process is free, right? But however, this thing costs a lot. I didn't start mentioning figure, but it costs a whole lot, right? We're not asking you to pay any money, right? So, and we will not even ask you, and we want to keep it that way. It is free now. We want to keep it free for the future, even in time to come, for all of our cohorts. However, we noticed that some people they benefited a lot. Some people even got a job. Some people even got promotion based on the new knowledge that they've gained, and then they want to support. So, in case you want to support, on your LMS, you would see a donate modal. I would ask you to donate. So you could donate for us. Could 1,000, 2,000, 5,000, 10,000, 100,000, $5, $2, $50, $100, $1,000 to go a long way, right? So you could always donate to the course. Like your donation would help us provide this learning, would help us provide learnings for both you now and other people that will be joining eventually for our subsequent cohorts. Basically that's what we use your donation for. So we're trying to add more tracks, more learning courses. As a last course, we only had data analysis. This course we have data science, and we have I think two new courses, data science and project management. And in this course, we're looking at adding maybe cloud and um cybersecurity. So more courses will be added, right? These are part of the things that organization will do for us. So if it pleases you, you could always you could always donate to us and just help us provide things better. Sorry, 1 second, please. Yeah. So if please, you could always donate, no matter how small it is. Don't think it's too small. 1,000 naira is not too small. I mean, you could also complete the money that we used to pay for one of the services that we use, right? So you really cannot see. So it will also go a long way. Yeah. So basically, that's also off my slide. So let's learn, let's grow, and let's transform. So let's dive in together. So at this point, I'll take questions. So I'll look at the chat box and then I'll take a few questions. Is the training free? Yes, the training is entirely free. There is nothing that you're paying for. It is free. Yes, okay. Someone is asking you, yeah, you get the invite. I had already mentioned that before. After the end of this call, you get the invite, and then you proceed from there. You also get you also be notified for your learning instructor, for your learning track, for individual track learning. Um, sorry, 1 second, please. For your individual track learning, you details on that. Yeah, so if you have any question, you can raise your hand. I'll just take questions, or you could drop it on the chat box, and then after that, I'll just hand over to Mr. Jim to continue the other question or any feedback to give. Yeah. Okay, I see that someone is asking. So the training has started actually. We are currently on onboarding. We are trying to onboard you to help you to get to know things better. Right. So it has started already. Um you would get so the official learning period will start from next week, Monday. Right. So the entire of this week you get to you so the entire of this week you get to get information on different on get to meet instructors, get to ask them questions, get your curriculum, and then you would and then by next week you have access to your LMS. You start seeing your videos. Yes, okay. I think I didn't mention that. So the entire training is a pre-recorded video. Your instructors are gone ahead to also to record the classes already. Actually, you just follow through, and then if you have questions, you note it down, and you guys will now meet at the office hour, which is like the live classes. If you have any question, you ask them the question, they'll get to answer you. Now, their prerecorded video doesn't mean that they will not teach. I think I need to also put that disclaimer. So they will teach on the live on the day of the live class. So you have like an intense teaching. So you have like an intense teaching right before the question. So it's not that they'll just come and then start taking questions. They'll teach first and then question. So the entire thing that you would have learned during that if you don't watch the videos, it might be difficult to follow through on the day of the teaching. But if you have watched the videos already, now on the live when they're teaching on the live on the day of the live classes, it's easier for you to follow through, right? So some of the things will just be like look like you're being reminded of, right? So you can do that. Um, yeah. So I think that's almost. I just need to mention that. What do I guess? So I already mentioned that as well. If you get stuck, you can always send a mail to admin@divehq.org. Admin@divehq.org. If you get stuck, you can always send a mail there, and then you'll be assisted further. Um. So okay. I can see that someone has already mentioned that the data training is free. Yes, I believe this person is from our last cohort. Yeah. I already mentioned that it's entirely free. When we're not charging for anything, including your certificate, is free. You're not paying a dime. But however, like I already mentioned, if you feel like you've gained so much value from us and you want to give back, it's fine. You can always donate. We appreciate your donations, no matter the amount, no matter how small you think the amount is, it would go a long way for us. You can always donate. The ones available. Um, so you could still have access to your LMS. You could still have access to your LMS after the training, but for a duration of for a duration. So by the time we are kickstarting the next cohort, you'll be kicked out of the LMS. I'm sorry to say. Kick it out of the elements, but at least for the first period of duration, you have access to the elements. You could you could watch some materials, watch some videos, and yes. So we're also trying to create to make crash courses as well. So in case you get stuck while at work and then you want to watch a particular section of the video, but you don't have access to your LMS, you can always go to our YouTube and watch some crash courses that we are trying to make as well. We're still deciding if you'll still be on the LMS, but most likely you'll get kicked out. But if you still be, it's fine for you. You can always go and rewatch it. But yeah, I guess that'll be all the questions that I had that you have for me, the ones that relate to this. So I'll just allow Mr. DME to just continue from here. Mr. DME, you have the mic, sir. Thank you for having me once again. And I believe that this will be a great life transforming experience. Cheers, guys. I'll see you shortly.
So thank you, Mr. Chris, for that amazing session. Thank you, and I hope you understand whatever has been said. So, but in addition to this, I think if you don't understand, you'll be having different track onboarding session. So which will be starting next week. So whatever you don't understand, if you have any question tailored to your track of your chosen track, then you can ask during your onboarding session. So the dates and time will be sent to you on the Slack and WhatsApp channel. So I think it's just important that I mention that. So thank you so much. Thank you all for joining. I think we overshoot our time. So thank you. Goodbye and God bless you. Thank you.